Good morning, and today is March 31st, 2025. Now, I've been doing a lot about dentures and eating with dentures and being new to dentures, but hear me out if you're in a marriage relationship, okay? I promise I'm not going to be Bible thumping. For any of you Bible believers out there, this is for you. If you're not a Bible believer and you just don't want to hear any of it, just skip over the preaching part and listen to the advice. Because even when I was a non-believer, I knew the Bible had so much knowledge about the human mind and body. And I mean, to me now it's an instruction manual in life. To an atheist, I believe it's the same thing. I believe an atheist can read this and be like, it makes sense, okay? So, I'm really going to try not to jump around a lot. I'm horrible at making videos, so try to hear me out, and I will try to be quick. And the reason I'm making this video is because I heard a teaching last night about relationships from a well-known worldwide teacher, Billy Graham. And I disagree with him on something. The teaching I heard, he was basically talking about relationships, and I wish I had the title up. How to spot demons and a family, okay? So he was talking about how to spot demons in a family, and then he got further into relationships with like husband, wife, and he got to 1 Corinthians 7:5, which I'll read real quick. It's the only verse I'll read, so for you atheists who just don't believe in any of this stuff, here's that part you could skip. I suggest not. Listen to it. Do not deprive one another except with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer and come together again, so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Now, in a nutshell, basically what that's saying is, if you are going to stay abstinent, especially not only, but especially sexually, it needs to be a consentful time. And when you do, it's in fasting and prayer. Why do we fast and pray? We fast and pray because we deprive ourselves to show that inner, say, like, look, I am going to deprive myself in prayer to show this is kind of how important it is to me. Catholics, from what I know, it's you got to go light a candle, pray, and you got to give money to pray. You have to give money to show you're sincere about how much you want this prayer answered. To me, it makes absolutely no sense, because it says right here, fast and pray. You deprive yourself and you pray. Okay, that shows commitment. Any rich person can throw a check for X amount of dollars. Any poor person can, okay? Deprive yourself from food for 3-4 days. I can't even deprive myself of coffee for more than 2 hours throughout the entire day. I constantly have coffee in my hands. So, enough of the preaching there, but I want to talk about husbands and wives and abstinence from sex. Okay, I have these dog treats, and every morning I come, I do my thing, I do my readings, I have my coffee, and my dog comes up and I give him a treat. Boom, give him a treat, give him a treat. Now, let's say I were to just take this and kind of dangle it there, and he's sitting there, he wants it. I'm sure you all seen a dog begging for a treat, okay? Let's say I keep dangling it, and I don't give it to him. It's like, no. Eventually he's going to stop fighting for it. He's going to not want the treat anymore, because he sees the more he begs and begs and begs, he's just not getting it, okay? Now, another scenario. Let's say he knows I have the treats up here. I'm not even dangling it, but I have it, okay? If he comes up here and sees I'm just not going to give it to him, speaking of wife, I love you too. And let me text her real quick. I love you. Okay, sorry about that. So, in other words, if I have these treats up here and I'm not even giving it, I'm not even showing it to him, he is just probably not going to be interested anymore, okay? Same thing with the wife. Husbands, in a relationship, if you're sitting there dangling yourself and basically depriving one another, it's going to get to the point, especially in men. Men, if they see something that they are trying to obtain, work on, achieve, but if they see that the work and their efforts are not going to be profitable in any way, they're not going to obtain anything, men are just going to stop. Why work at something that you're not going to get any kind of reward for? Now, does that sound selfish? Absolutely it does, okay? I hear so much about men are so sexually selfish. They are so sexually driven. They are so, guys will be guys. And I agree. And guys are douchebags. They're dirty. They're nasty sometimes, okay? As it is, okay? I'm not denying that. Does that give you a whole pass or a freedom pass to be a douchebag, to be a pervert, to be any of that? Absolutely not. A good, strong man will have that desire, that strong desire, and control it. That's where a good man comes in. And he will direct all that energy to one woman respectfully. Now, on the flip side, I know I'm going back and forth. Women, if you are depriving your husband, this is not good, okay? And I've heard women say, well, he doesn't even try, I'm there, he could have it, but he doesn't even try. Well, why is he not trying? Because I guarantee it's probably something you're doing. I know I probably lost most of the women here, but it is. And the truth hurts. And I'm going to say some stuff about men too that they need to work on. But the fact is, if you're not, if a guy comes up, your husband comes up, okay, and tries to give you a kiss, okay, a good sensual kiss, and it's greeted with kind of like a, whatever, after a while, he sees that is not even entertaining to you, because trust me, he wants to entertain you too. He wants you to be pleased. He doesn't want you to just lay there on your back in some lingerie and do nothing. He wants you to be enjoying what is going on in that moment, okay? So if he comes up and he sees that you're just not interested in the kiss, one, that is basically saying, I'm really not interested in a kiss, okay? He's like, is my breast stink? I know it's not my smile. Okay, funny, dentures. So, if he feels that he's just being rejected based off of just a kiss, he's not going to try any further. Because, technically, a kiss is a good way to spark a intimacy, right? So, if he's getting rejected right from the start, he's not going to want to try anymore, because men do not like to fail, okay? Good, true men anyways. Nowadays, you see men, they fail and they're like, well, at least we tried, but we all get a trophy, right? Yeah, don't even get me started. So, what I'm trying to say is, women, do not deprive your husbands as a tool or weaponizing. It will go bad. And I don't mean he's going to go off and run and cheat, although that can and does happen. I'm not saying that. Let's just exempt that out of that will happen anywhere, anytime, any place. what I'm trying to say is you're not going to have a full, happy relationship if you continue that. He's going to feel that he's not satisfying you, especially if you're not satisfying him. Okay? Men, when you go to work, when you go outside of the house, your only thought should be your wife and nothing else. Okay? Are you going to get hit on at work? Absolutely. Are women going to not care if you're married? That's going to happen. Okay? And especially in today's world, it's insane. Like, women, I swear to God, I shouldn't swear to God, but I swear, whatever. I almost see it as a challenge these days. Like, they see this and they're like, I'm going for it. Why? Okay? Women, I'm going to pick on you now. When you go to work, are you sitting there looking in the mirror and be like, do these look nice? Does that back there look nice? And it's fine. Go to work and look good. And, my wife, she's a beautiful woman. But I do not want her displaying all the things that I should only be seeing, okay? Make yourself look good. Be pretty, be a woman. Men, same thing, groom yourself. Look nice, comb your hair, do whatever it's got, iron your shirt, whatever it takes. Be presentable, be decent. But don't go out there and show off more to the world than you're showing off at home. Trust me on this one. I've seen so many relationships fail just because they're giving more attention outside of the home than they are inside of the home. And like I said, it is not an excuse for men to go out and do some BS stuff. It's not. That is on the man. They need to man up and be faithful, okay? So don't think that if I'm saying, a woman deprives her husband, they're going to go off and they're going to mess around and it's okay because of that. And here it says, because of lack of self-control, okay? So there's going to be, that's my little rant. Like I said, it was a little Billy Graham thing that I had heard, good stuff. But, yeah. So there you go. Hopefully I get some kind of feedback on this. Hated it, let me know. Liked it, let me know. I don't expect everybody to heart everything, because if you hearted everything you liked, it'd be hard to go back and find it again. So, enjoy. Be good to your spouses. Don't deprive each other. And if you are, figure out why. Trust me, your man, he wants you. You just gotta show him that he wants you. Same thing with, the men. So there's men out there probably depriving their wife, and it might not be sexually. It could be in other ways. Ha, I got the checking account. Ha, I got the money. Ha, you can't have it. Especially when there's plenty of it. Women, there's plenty of love to give. Men, they could be like, there's plenty of money to give, but I control it, and vice versa, okay? So, have a good day. I'll get back into my denture videos here shortly. I bought some dentatch, because I'm just having all kinds of problems with adhesives and stuff like that. So I'll be making a video on how that works. I'm not going to make a video on how to apply it. There's tons of great videos out there on how to. So hope you all have a good day. Thank you for letting me rant, and be safe.